Have you ever wondered what it would be like if life were easy? All those self-help books wouldn't be flying off the shelves. Your first written word would soon turn into a novel. Books for dummies wouldn't even exist, and neither would brothers. Loving others, especially those brothers, wouldn't seem so complicated anymore. Growth would be easy, and, of course, our purpose would be clear, without distraction, without pain. Back to the real world. Life that's hard. First, I didn't say life that's terrible, I said life that's hard. Some people confuse those for one and the same. In reality, brothers protect and somewhat annoy. Love is a choice, a good one. Growth is worthwhile, and we only forget our purpose when, like me, in the midst of pain, we get tangled in the details or lose sight of direction. Darkness wants to absorb our lives. It is in the hardest times that we should still reflect the light of truth. We must persevere. When those emotions go haywire, when a friend feels like the last thing that can be found, when life is terrible, that's when we must make a choice. Will we choose to persevere? In order to persevere, we have to pause enough to dream. This allows our discernment to decide what is worth pursuing. Hope will build, but not unless we know our reason for that hope. We then must persevere for those hopes, having placed them in the one who holds our journey of life. The darkness in the current valley is nothing, for when we fix our eyes up to where the Creator meant us to go, even the darkness is as bright as day. Emotions can be raw in any given moment. We are made of both flesh and spirit after all, not separate. Perseverance means having hope enough to rise again. As Gandalf would say, "Despair is only for those who see the end beyond all doubt." Do you have your hiking boots on? Because it is going to be a long night. What will you pursue? Start with the small. Grow towards the mountain peaks. If you have a half goal, you'll only pursue it half-heartedly. No! Set your minds to it, guys and gals. Think about something that makes you passionate, looking towards more than just the present. Getting on that team, starting that first podcast, getting accepted to MIT, whatever it is, set your heart ablaze in excitement. I won't promise this will make your life easy. Nope, it won't be. There'll be some days when you're not at your goal yet, or it all feels monotonous, or distractions pull everywhere. That is when we need to look up and remember the why of it all. If you've ever written a novel or story, the middle seems to stretch on for ages sometimes. Only the character who keeps persevering, despite exhaustion, despite pain, and despite those dragons, makes it to the finish line and earns the admiration of readers. Even if the end goal is not always what you had in mind, will you trust your author in the process? Will you trust that he'll use the story he wrote for good? Do you need the reminder that his heart is ablaze with excitement in the plans he has for you? The worst thing a character can do is to stop growing. Don't pitch your tent. Ask questions. Thrive. Questions are a wonderful discipline to embrace. We must be willing to listen before we can afford to be heard. If you aspire to be like someone, persevere to listen to them. If you desire to teach someone, persevere in the practice of winsome communication. Keep persevering. Before concluding what we've discussed so far, here's a few applicable examples in how to persevere. Are you lonely? Be friendly with the intention of actually caring. Some people say hi and leave when an important argument starts. They don't know how to cultivate the relationship well. I'm still discovering that cultivation part myself. Yet I found that when I'm the first to admit I'm wrong, I can grow in humility. Humility is the last thing this world wants to pursue, yet it is the most attractive thing that a person can uphold as part of their character. It's relatable to fail, not to be perfect, even though we all strive for perfection. As for what perfection is, that's another podcast for another time. Does that washing machine still have 1 minute? Do something other than wait. Likely you can get all your goals taken care of in that dreaded 1 minute. You could even be taken by surprise in those hours of wait by an actually witty comeback from a brother. Who knows? Who knows? Moving on. Do you have a skill you want to learn? Immerse in it like a language. Do you have a conversation not yet begun? A hurtful secret that shouldn't be kept? A friend to cheer on with witty banter? Or anything else that needs action? These are the things to begin in order to do better in the long term. Most people say to sweep out the bad things. What I don't get is why they don't say to also replace them with better habits. Well, in with the good air, out with the bad, as it were, according to Karate Kid. As a last example, some videos I've decided to watch could be defined simply as they had too much time on their hands. Our timelessly wise mom would then tell us, they always have time. It's what they do with it that counts. Distractions don't stop dreams. You do. Quit doubting. Love action. Move forward now, knowing your why. Become a better bearer of light. Shoot for the stars and never stop dreaming. Science, not surprisingly, shows physical aspects of perseverance, even simply with air. On to the science fact of the day. Breathe. Wow, Miss Hobbitess, profound! Breathing activates the prefrontal cortex of the brain, used for thoughtful or rational thinking, which my brothers lack. However, when you are exhausted, the emotional parts of the brain, the amygdala or orbital frontal cortexes, override the rational part when faced with a hard problem or task to do. In other words, fear takes over. Congrats! Now you know! Even the brain subconsciously perseveres through stress when you choose to breathe deeply. When you choose to persevere over fatigue. Remember, smile. I sometimes look angry when I am quote-unquote have a concentrated face. This is not all the time, of course, but it does bring up the question, are we enjoying each moment we are in? The work that we have been called to do? Is the author of our lives delighting in his creation? Being fully in the moment allows for more opportunities. Enjoy this moment. Not in the sense that I get what I want right now, but in the celebration that I am one step or one day closer to where and who I should be. Laugh during the process and rest throughout. Concentrate hard, but don't forget to breathe. Finally, dreams aren't meant to be hidden. When shared, it's like you have an exercise buddy along with you. Instead of not going to the gym yourself because they moved cardio upstairs, you'll get moving in improved excitement, in trust, and also with guidance. Stop. Dream. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere at all. Work, rest, pursue transformation. Don't give up, and the harvest will come. In your current walk, whether terrible, filled with hope, or at your dreams, persevere. Have you ever wondered what this life would be like if you had nothing worth persevering for? Thank you for listening to the Occasionally Current Bugle. Please leave comments. I love respectful debate or witty banter too. If, of course, you have enough left in you to explore the powerful leftovers of my own wits. I lost my marbles a long time ago. Have peace, y'all, and patience too. Also, a very Merry Christmas.